Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bumbershoot, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart. And today we've got the final of the three, the baby, but the tallest of all,
And
Logan Lorenzo Presti Filippo Logino Mio. What were you going to say?
And the strongest.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can't forget that. Obviously the best. You know, the child is always, the baby's always
The best.
So
It's
they
true.
think. So they think I'm not the baby, so I don't 100% agree. Anyways, all right, so we've had your sister on and we've had your brother on, and now it's your turn.
Yeah.
And our listeners who don't know you are really going to see the difference between all three of you.
Yeah, they probably will. I'm a little stuffy right now. I'm getting over a little sickness, so my voice isn't really regular, but...
It's a little deeper than normal.
No, I can't...
It's congesty.
My nose is congested. I can't do anything about it.
No, but I'm here in Italy with you, and so I wanted to do this. So we're actually recording it a couple weeks before we air it because I'm here with him in person because he lives in Milano. Well, I don't like to say lives. He's staying in Milano right now.
I live there.
No, you don't.
With my uncle.
You don't live there.
For 8 months, so I'm pretty sure that's living. It's temporary living.
It's temporary living. Okay, I'll settle on that.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get to that. But first, I want to take us back to little Loghie Bogie.
Little Logie.
Yep. Tell us about what it was like to enter into this family. Do you even remember?
I mean, okay, I can remember just mostly like elementary school when the funniest memory I have, which I kind of tell people a lot because it is funny, it's like I remember not having, it's not true, but not having like a dad growing up. And it's funny that I say it because the first time I went over to my friend's house, the dad was home at like 5 o'clock. And so I was asking the friend, I was like, why is your dad home? Because I was never used to like having a dad home so early. And so that was like...
That's hilarious.
That was probably like third grade.
Kind of sad.
No, it's not sad. It's just...
Well, it's kind of sad. Well, but the thing is that the reality is, and you know, we've talked about dad and working and all the things, but he would be at work. No, let's say this. Okay, so let's say a regular school day.
Oh, yeah,
You would wake up and he'd be sleeping because he worked so late at night. So he'd be sleeping. So you'd go in, you boys would go in, give him a kiss goodbye. And then you got out of school, he was at work. Even when you were little and didn't have sports, it's not like we went to the restaurant and hung out. So you wouldn't see him
not all the
all
time.
Day.
Yeah.
And then you would go to bed and he'd get home after you were already asleep and he'd give you a kiss goodnight. So literally you would go days without seeing each other if I didn't swing by the restaurant, which I tried to do at least once a day.
Yeah. So I do tell people that. And then another memory is kind of just like, I don't know, sports too. Mm-hmm. He wasn't there for... Okay, that's just dad. But...
It's okay. This is a little therapy session.
No, I don't need therapy. I'm totally understanding.
Dad said he'd never listen to the podcast again, so you're good.
No, but I'm very understanding. I don't like... I'm not like throwing him for it, but... Okay, other than that, I would say just always being able to like have like my own freedom, but taking my responsibilities first only if mom like told me to. Like,
well, let's talk about like your childhood when you were in elementary school. Like, what was that like?
In what way?
Like, if you think about, oh, Luca's calling us. Let's bring him on the show.
That's funny.
Hey, Luca. Hi, Luca.
Mom.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know where there are any tie-down straps here?
Where?
We're in the middle of a podcast, dude.
At the house.
No, I think you need to ask Dad, but he might be resting.
He's sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I called him because I'm going to Disneyland today, and I'm going up, and I'm staying up in LA because Angela asked me to go grab tables
furniture.
and chairs for for tomorrow.
They're probably in the warehouse in Dad's truck or something.
No, they're in my truck. Well, I have straps. I have 4 straps. You've seen how to use mine if you need to use them.
I know how to use them. It's just I don't have time to go to the warehouse.
Well, sorry, I don't know where they're.
just what? He doesn't have
at
what?
home. He doesn't have time to go to the warehouse. Babe, I don't know what.
So you're gonna have to buy them. If you don't have time, then what's the point of calling?
Why do we have all this stuff at the house and not one tie strap here?
No, we probably have them.
Luca, this is all being recorded for our podcast.
Are you in the garage?
Yeah, I'm in the garage.
Check
Oh,
on
yeah, in your room.
that. Check on that. The wiring shelf next to in between the garages. Sometimes there's like one or two there.
There's one, but there's no ratchet part. It's just the strap.
Okay, go on the other side of the Moz.
Yeah,
Maybe
what
on the
about
floor.
on the wall?
There's nothing on that side.
Okay, go to the barn and check in there.
Yeah, go check or ask Margarito.
If not, just
Yeah,
go
the
buy
barn
them.
probably has them. Sorry, we can't be more help. Okay, have fun at Disneyland.
Yeah, I hope I even leave at this point.
Dude, just go buy them. If it's really that much of a hassle, just go buy them. They're like $20.
He doesn't have time to go to the warehouse. How does he have time to buy them?
It's faster to go buy them than go to the warehouse.
I can buy them tomorrow, but the point is, I don't want to I just want to go. I don't want to.
Yeah, I know you don't want to do that stuff, but you just do it.
Okay, well, you might have to buy them tomorrow because we don't know where any are, and we're very far.
They're at the storage mostly.
Yeah, they're probably in the warehouse in one of the trucks. There's 3 trucks in there. Or you could go to the barn and check there. That's our educated guesses.
Just go. It's 100% at the store, so just go to the store.
Yeah, it's 100% at the store for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, we love you.
All right, bye.
Yeah, love you too. Bye.
Love.
Oh my goodness! And there is the difference. What would happen if you couldn't find straps, Logan?
I would not find straps. I know where straps are.
I would not find straps.
My straps are where I put them.
So, but what would happen if you couldn't find something? The difference between you and Luca. He gets he panics and he freaks out over little things.
What would I do? I would probably just look. I don't know.
Figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know.
I always say okay, if you drop Logan on an island, he will find
survive more.
No, it's different though. Logan would flag down a pirate ship or a plane overhead. He would figure out how to and he'd have a party on the island before he left it. But he would leave it on a yacht, like Elon Musk's yacht or something. Luca would create
A
his
life.
escape. Yeah, he would no, he wouldn't create his whole life. He would create an escape. He would navigate, he would engineer
Some type
all
of
of
boat or
the
something.
tools he could find.
Yeah.
Not tools, but living off the land. He would figure it out, and he'd make a boat. He would survive. It would just be different.
Yeah. I think he falls more under stress,
Oh,
under
100%.
pressure. So I think in that case, he would be freaking out for if he couldn't figure it out in 10 days, he would just start
He might
just
lose
start
his mind.
yeah. For me, I would just be chilling, probably making fires, catching fish.
You'd be summoning the mermaids.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, the difference between the two. Okay, so back to Logie.
Yes. What were we talking about?
We were talking about what do you remember in your childhood? And you're what do you mean? So I guess I'm thinking let's talk about discipline. How do you remember me as a mom when you were young?
Yeah. With mom, I feel like I was disciplined harder because I found out a harder way. I found out how to do things the hard way compared to Luca most of the time.
Yeah, you would try it and then get in trouble versus him who just wouldn't try it.
He wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so I think mom was a lot harder on me always growing up.
Well, because you tested me more.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying. So it's even Andrew and Max, they both agree you're hard, but they don't see, or they have seen you with Luca too. So they're pretty fair about it too.
Yeah.
Because they understand the difference of being Luca, obviously.
Well, Luca got in trouble a lot when he was little.
Yeah.
When you didn't get in trouble when you were little. Barely ever. You were really good when you were little. You didn't test, push buttons. Luca, he made me nervous when he was little because he would get so like resentful and angry that I was afraid he was going to hurt you for real. So he would get in really big trouble because I'd be so scared that he would hurt you. And I'd have to give him like the come to Jesus. If you do this, you could really like, your brother could like die and he would never be here again. Like, it's hard to tell a little kid that, but that's how like he would get so mad. And I mean, when I talked on to Brandy on the podcast, older, I used to get mad when I knew my limits, where when you're little, you don't know your limits.
Yeah.
So Luca, that's what I had to teach him really young.
Yeah. So yeah, that's, I think, but my elementary school, I think it wasn't like,
Anything real memorable?
no, I just always having like the best. It was always like the best mom, along with Mason Brown, because for spirit days and activities,
That's hilarious.
our parents would both be there, and like we would be the most stressed or whatever. Also,
Crazy hair day, the best crazy hair.
Yeah.
100 day, you have the 100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm a little themed person. I like all of those.
And also Miss Eves
yeah.
with Drew.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah.
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 Uh,
Well, she has two, so you were like, which one? Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think the most memorable part of my elementary school, there was two parts. One was getting in a fight with Robert Curatolo over a soccer game.
Which I did not allow you to fight, so.
No.
And Dad's like, did you beat him up?
Yeah. And then meeting Andrew, Max, Kyle, and Caden in elementary school. Those were probably like the only things that I remember. And dating Curran, my first girlfriend.
Dating.
In fifth, actually, it wasn't even in elementary school because it was
Well,
the
your
summer
first
of fifth grade.
girlfriend, who was your first
Oh,
girlfriend?
Ava Marie.
Yeah, and I took you guys to the mall. You were like
This was first
third,
grade, Mr. Shea's class.
First grade, was it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, you had Crawford for first. Second grade.
Yeah, second grade.
Second
Mr.
grade,
Shea.
Shay. So I took you and Ava Marie to Build-A-Bear, to lunch and to Build-A-Bear.
I think I still have that Build-A-Bear.
That was cute.
Yeah.
You don't talk to her anymore.
No.
And then your actual like first girlfriend was
Curran.
yeah,
She
young.
would come everywhere with us. Not everywhere, but
No,
like
but
see
yeah.
the family stuff
Yeah.
and then I would
and
go
she lived
to
right
do
around the
stuff.
corner from your friend
From Caden.
So we
Yeah.
got to see her there.
Yeah, so that was my elementary school. And then, yeah, I think that's... No, elementary school, one of my biggest memories is going to Andrew's house almost every single weekend. And Max's, like, I remember, like, I didn't even come home on Fridays. I would come home on, like, Sundays and I'd be pissed because I want to stay there. But...
Well, we circuited you
Yeah.
kids. Like, the three of you guys were
it was
together
like,
constantly.
we're going to... And also, Kyle, like, when we went to Andrew's, it was
Kyle
also
was
always
there,
Kyle.
yeah.
And then we went to Max's. Kate was there a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And our house.
All the parties and family stuff, it was always Kate and Max and Andrew with their parents.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
sure.
really special because I'm still very close. They're all my
Yeah.
best friends today, which is special. That doesn't always happen.
Yeah. And Marco also.
But Marco being Luca's
Well, Marco's
age,
different.
but yeah.
A different group, but yeah.
Yeah. I know we have, and then Haley.
Haley.
Yeah. We have all of our little family friends that we're a unit. It's great. So
Yes.
then middle school, I don't remember like a lot significant in middle school.
Middle school, I remember my first time getting bullied in middle school.
Oh, what was that like? I got bullied too.
Well,
bullied in
I was really
elementary school.
unbothered because I think I'm very confident, so I really don't care like if someone tries to bully me, and I'm not allowed to fight, so I just walk away. I don't really care.
For the walk away.
And then I also in middle school I met Gianni.
Oh yeah.
And he was a pretty good friend for middle school. Dated Curran through like 7th grade, and then we had our fallout. I don't know what else.
But I remember. I mean, I dated Uncle Ryan in 8th grade, and that time is like feels real. Like
Well, yeah.
relationships and breakups.
I still
and
have
stuff.
all the pictures in my phone. Like I don't delete pictures of like anything.
Do you talk to Curran at all? Like, are you in touch
No.
on social media?
We follow each other, but we don't text. But she's like in the Marines now, or like
What?
the Air Force. I don't know, something like
Oh.
that. She does planes.
Oh, that's cool.
Because she was in Max's MSJC class for
Oh,
planes.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But middle school wasn't really anything crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember anything big.
I was still 5. I was at my top.
You were the shortest of all the kids. We'll talk about that because Max.
Elementary school, Max was already like an 8th grader elementary school, Max was already an 8th grader in middle school. Like he felt like it.
He looked like it. Like he was so
he was grown.
big, tall, manly. Like
he had hairy arms. Like he was already growing like a mustache.
Yeah, he seemed like
in 5th grade.
And Logan and Andrew and Caden, literally, I have a picture of them under his arm.
Yeah, Max was like, always the tallest.
He towered over them. And then Andrew started growing. I think Andrew was next. I think then Caden.
Yeah, Andrew started getting taller. And then, so we moved from elementary school. Like, we were all short. And then I think Andrew, like, got the same height as Max. But he was, like, skinny.
Yeah.
Like, Max was huge. Because Max, I think, was already working.
Not fat.
No, strong.
He was like
muscly.
thick. Yeah, like, I mean, and I don't mean that, sorry for the offended people, but I'm saying like he was very like tree trunk. Like he's a solid guy. He's very proportionate. But when these boys, all three, Andrew, Logan, and Caden, scrawny.
Yeah.
So it's extreme.
Yeah, definitely. And then
I'll post the picture of Max with them short under their armpits.
And our charity for charity hats.
And that too, all those.
And then, so middle school wasn't anything crazy. Like, it was kind of just middle school. Like, nobody wanted to be there. And so,
like everybody's middle school.
Yeah, it was, so.
You got in trouble a couple of times in middle school in class, didn't you?
I got in trouble everywhere. In school.
Not in elementary school.
Elementary school, I got in trouble, but they wouldn't call you because I was always cool with the teachers.
Yeah, Logan's the kid that you're like, oh, he's a pain in the ass, but he's a lovable one.
Yes.
I always say he's a wonderful handful. That was what I called him when he was growing up. Because he's like the most happy, jolly, like charming lover boy, but then he's naughty. But all in all, like seriously, for what's in you, I'm going to say thanks to me, you're really a good boy for what you could have been if I wasn't strict. If I wasn't on you.
That's true. Yes.
In high school, you went out you started, let's talk about football, how you wanted to play football when you were little.
Oh, yeah, I always wanted to play tackle football, but...
like, you were probably 1, and you were drop kicking a football, and you're like, Mom, I want to play tackle football. Oh, wait, your first word. Let's go to your first word, really. There's a lot of Logan that people don't know.
Yeah, we got to go back and forth.
We got to go back. This is me all over the place. This is Dad's like, oh, you're all over the place. This is what happens. I remember something, and I have to go there.
Yeah. So my first word was teamwork.
Teamwork. From Wonder Pets. So if you ever watched Wonder Pets, the kids watched it every day, and Luca watched it long before Logan came around, and then Luca and Logan both talked and walked really early, but Logan, he didn't say mama or dada. His first word, he was standing in front of the television and the Wonder Pets were on, and they say, what's gonna work? Teamwork. And they said, what's gonna work? And I was standing there and he goes, teamwork. And I was like, what did I just hear? And I looked down at him and I said, what did you just say? And he looks at me, and then they said it again, and he said, teamwork. And I was like, did you just say teamwork? And he said it again, and I was like, oh my gosh, Logan, his first word, teamwork. Then I've got another kicker for you. He turned 2 July 20th, and we left, I think, the next day or 2 days later, maybe a couple days later, but anyways, right there, within a week. We left for Italy, and I didn't even start trying to potty train him. I didn't even think about it. Luca potty trained like early, but I don't know, like 3 probably. Logan, I didn't even start trying. We're on the plane to Italy. Alex is asleep. Luca never slept on the plane. He watched television the whole way there, the whole way back. You heard about Luca last week, or you will. Anyway, so I'm sitting next to Logan, And all of a sudden he looks up and he goes, Mommy, I have to go potty. And I look at him like, okay. And he's going, Mommy, I have to go potty. And I go, are you wanting to go to the bathroom? You want to go to the restroom? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And we get up and we walk to the bathroom on the airplane. And I prop him up on the toilet and he goes to the bathroom.
Goated.
And this child, never had an accident ever again. We're in Italy and the toilets they don't have like seats on them. A lot of them don't. And a lot of them are tall. So, because people squat. So anyway, he had to climb up on the toilets, but he would just climb up. I didn't even have to take him to the bathroom. We stayed at a beach house over on Libri, on the island of Libri. And he would just get up from the table and go to the bathroom. I'd be like, where are you going? Potty. Oh, okay. And then I would just go make sure he wouldn't fall in the toilet, but the kid did it all on his own. So, yeah, I don't know. It's incredible, these kids.
And the car seat. I'm advanced. I'm an advanced human.
I'm an advanced human. Anyways, okay, so let's fast forward then.
What about the car seat?
What about the car seat?
Remember I was on my way home from preschool and I just threw the car seat in the back of the car?
Oh, no, I don't remember that. But I do remember I was taking him to preschool and I usually got ready to take the kids to preschool because you have to walk them in. But this one morning, I didn't get ready. I was in my sweats. I didn't do my makeup. I wasn't it didn't look like I just got out of bed, but I definitely didn't have my makeup done. I probably had a hat on. And I go in the back to take him out of the car seat. And now he's in preschool. So what is he? 3? And he goes, no. He shakes his head at me. No. And I said, what do you mean no? No, I'm not going. I said, what do you mean you're not going? Let's go. And he's like, no. And he's looking at me with this look. And I'm like, get out of the car. No. And my kids don't tell me no, do you? So I'm like, but there was something different about the way he was saying it and looking at me. So it wasn't like he was being defiant. And I looked in his eyes and I said, are you embarrassed because I don't have my makeup on? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh, you little stinker. You little stinker. Yes. And I was like, oh, you are getting out of this car. You are going to learn a lesson, child. So I said, you get out of this car right now. And I said, I'm going to teach you a lesson about being embarrassed of your mom. If you want to be embarrassed, I'll give you a reason to be embarrassed. So I took his hand. He's like pulling back. He's trying not to go in. And I'm pulling his hand. And we go in. I say, good morning, everybody. Look, Logan's here. Everybody, look, Logan's here. Oh, I'm here with him. And he is mortified, hiding behind me. And I went in his classroom. I gave him a big kiss. Everybody see Logan's here. His mom's here. And I gave him a big old kiss. And he was mortified. So a lot of viewers out there thinking, oh my gosh, you're so mean. Hey, we all parent differently, but I'll tell you something. My children learned at a very young age that if you want to be embarrassed of me, I'll give you a reason to be embarrassed. But I am not embarrassing. You cannot be that shallow.
that was harsh.
I can be embarrassing, but
yes,
I will say that. But when you were older, that was not a reason to be embarrassed of me. So anyway,
I didn't know that.
That's funny. But yeah, beyond their years, both of the kids had these. They're just, I don't know what it is about you guys. I mean, Dad and I we're smart people, but you guys are funny on different levels of, advancedness, I'll say, and intellect in different ways.
Yeah. Definitely.
Anyways, enough bragging on you. Okay, let's get back to high school and football. Oh, we were saying, no, it was 8th grade that you had remember you had that feeling
sixth grade.
6th grade?
No. So I wasn't able to play tackle football until 6th grade.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was going to say when you were drop kicking a football and you kept saying, I want to play tackle football. And I said, you can't play tackle football until you're 6. And you kept asking me. And then Luca decided out of nowhere, who never wanted to play football, I'm old enough to play tackle football. I want to play tackle football. And you were so upset because you wanted to play tackle, but you could only play flag. So I signed you up for flag. But you always wanted to play tackle, so
Yeah, and so I was supposed to be able to play tackle at 6, but I was not. Instead, I had to
Dad
hold out.
didn't let you.
I had to hold out until I was in 6th grade. I played on a no weight limit, no height limit, just the age, and it was
But that was after we saw a neurosurgeon. That Dad gave you the permission to play.
no,
No?
wrong.
Oh.
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
So it was a no weight, no height limit like league. It was the Panthers. It was called, and I was I was 5'2", 75 pounds, and I was going against these dumpsters.
Sumo wrestlers.
Yeah. From like East LA.
It's true. No, we went to LA like several times.
We went to
play.
what's that one? Like one of the sketchiest places in
yeah,
LA.
Compton or something.
It was I think,
All Americans. Crenshaw.
Yeah. Crenshaw.
It was Crenshaw.
Yeah, we went to Crenshaw, and I played a game there. And I remember I got it. I tackled. There was this running back. He was huge, like an actual like huge. And I was playing safety, and I came up and I cracked him. And I remember like I had to get taken out the game because like I was spinning, and so I was always like the smallest person. And then 6th grade, I played for Pop Warner.
That was 6th grade.
7th grade, I played Pop Warner, and also 8th grade.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right.
And then, so for on 7th, let me think, because I remember the class. It was 5th grade when I started having that feeling.
Yeah, but then 6th grade we saw the neuro. No?
No,
Maybe
because
it was a summer or something.
I remembered I
anyways.
already played 1 year of football because I was
So
like,
it's
do I have to
6th grade
stop
then.
playing? Okay,
6th grade.
so it was like the summer of 6th grade where I went to see a neurosurgeon after taking like 15 CAT scans.
Because he was having like these feelings
It was
up
like
and down his back,
It
right?
would go from like the top of my head down to my toes. It was like a spiky feeling,
like kind of tingly, like when your leg falls asleep or your hand falls asleep.
yeah, but it was hurting. And I remember like I docked it in the shower, and it happened like 23 times in the shower in like 10 minutes. And so I had to go see a doctor.
We went to we went to what is the wine country? Napa Valley. Dad and I.
I was with
and
Nani.
You were with Nani, and
we went to the
we had to have
ER.
her take you to the ER. They did a bunch of
They did 3
MRIs.
hour tests on me. And then we went to McDonald's after. I remember.
She's a McDonald's queen. But then we had to take him down to follow up with a neurosurgeon because they didn't find anything.
After a bunch of scans.
Yeah, and more
then-
scans. Yeah, and then the neurosurgeon's like, well, unrelated, he does have like this, like a cyst at the base of your neck, but it wasn't like causing this pain. And by the time we went to the neurosurgeon, he stopped having the pain, which was really weird.
Yeah. And
But,
so, I have this little thing in the back of my neck. It's like a hard bubble.
Yeah.
And if it gets if it gets tied to like my brain, I got to get it surgically removed. And I didn't get my test this year, and so I was flipping out because I've been sick like 5 times since I've been in Milano. So
So you think that's what it is, the bubble on your neck?
yeah, I'm tripping
No,
about it.
they told us
while I'm
that
out here.
it wasn't affecting you. Well, that was how many years ago? You probably should get a follow-up.
Yeah.
But anyways, that neurosurgeon, Alex was very nervous about letting Logan play tackle football. The boys play tackle football. And so when we were in front of the neurosurgeon, he happened to be the neurosurgeon for the Chargers as well. And so he kind of gave us his input. And it's not that it was like, oh, yeah, no problem. But it was like, here's the deal. And the advice he gave was really good, I think. He said, obviously you can get concussions in football. You can get them in any sport. He said, my recommendation is that if he gets, 1 or 2 concussions, and he's not going to be a football player, then I would find a different sport for him. But if he's got talent and he's going to go far with it, then you might be willing to take more concussions. They've got a lot of treatments and stuff. And I don't mean that to say that he's like agreeing with getting concussions. It's just that, there's things like, let's say in soccer and you get a compound fracture on your ankle, but you're scholarship worthy and you can recover from it or whatever, or tear an ACL. you're willing to put yourself back out there again. And yeah, the brain is a lot more fragile, but there was also really great equipment to protect and stuff. So it was kind of like we kind of agreed that if he got a concussion, then he'd be out. And fortunately, severe concussions are very, very rare, especially at his age and size at the time. So you only got, I don't even know if did you get a concussion in football?
I never got a prescribed concussion, but
No.
I'm sure I have 2 or 3 in my belt. I'm sorry. But that's when we invested on Speedflex.
Yeah, we got the Speedflex.
That year.
I actually think I thought that was pretty in high school because you guys would be going against bigger kids.
7th, 8th, I had it. 7th,
Oh,
8th,
you
and
did?
9th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then sophomore year.
Well, Luca was playing too, so that's Luca was a freshman when you were in 6th grade. So by the time Luca was a senior, Logan was a freshman so they were both on the football team.
I still had my youth helmet, and then sophomore year, coach only gave 5 sophomores speed flexes because they go to the seniors and juniors first, and so there was only 5 left, and so I got one. So I never didn't have a speed flex.
And you played, so
Yeah,
it did its job.
yeah, and then
So then high school, you were a COVID kid.
I was a COVID 2020 soft.
Half of your freshman year.
Yeah, cut off.
So you played football your freshman year, and then COVID hit.
Yes.
After football.
COVID for me was honestly pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like I had fun because I played Modern Warfare. It just dropped 2020, so I got to grind that, and I just got an Xbox freshman year. I got it for Christmas freshman year.
Biggest mistake a parent could make is buying their kid a what do you
For
call
them?
a video game?
For Xbox?
For any video game, you guys
console?
sucked into it.
Yeah. And so I got to play. We got to make pizzas. We get to hang out, eat as a family a lot. So that was I liked COVID for the most part, but I did miss my school time.
Well, so what did I do?
socializing.
So we had to close our restaurants, and we have a banquet room at Gourmet Italia. So we call it GI2.
Yeah.
So it was empty. So I made a pod for the kids, the young kid. Luca was
He was gone.
He was graduated. So the second semester, it was your first semester of your sophomore year.
We had a pod.
We had the pod, and we had about 8 to 12 kids at a time, but we had like the tried and truers, 8 of you, I think, that were always there. And they had school online, but they were all in the same room. So they would, when they had class, they were all on their computers with their headphones.
For the first week.
And then they would have a break, and then they had lunch. But it was good and bad. I don't think it would have been better at home because they would have
bad
done
at
the
all.
same.
I think it was good for us because we got to socialize as how we would at school.
Right.
Because we would socialize, we would get up, go on our computers, fall asleep, which was a nice part. We would just turn on our computers on, log in class, turn our cameras off, and go to sleep. We were always the last ones in our class. Like the teacher would be asking us, "Are you guys there?" It's no.
I tried to watch them and work at the same time. We tried to get a
She put
substitute
camera in
teacher.
there.
I did put a camera in there.
And she heard me say the F word.
For the first time ever in his whole entire that's the only time I ever heard him say it. And what happened? Again?
Oh my gosh. I was wearing I was wearing Max's blue light glasses. She heard it through the camera. She brought me outside. She slapped me
I dragged you outside.
She slapped me 13 or 14 times.
Exaggerate.
Front hand, backhand. She was slapping me, comboing me for saying the F word. I'm like, me and my friend were fighting. He was pulling my hair.
But it's not acceptable. I don't appreciate it to this day.
It was 100% acceptable.
No, it wasn't. And and I'm very, very disciplined. I'm a big disciplinarian, and they know the rules. I gave all the children the rules, and when I would hear them act out, I didn't do that to all the kids. I would definitely get on them for breaking the rules, and swearing is a broken rule for me. I don't like the F word. I unless my cousin Louis says it from the East Coast. He's funny. But my kids, I expect respect. I think it's an element of respect to not swear around adults. I don't like it at all, but I'm a realistic person that they do with their friends. But I like the filter around me and other adults. I appreciate it. But other adults can be worse than the kids, so I'm fighting an uphill battle with that.
So yeah, that was. But we had a really good time in there. We all like sent each other memories of Snapchats of us being in there. It was the main 8 was me, Max, Andrew, Christian, Blake, Soph, Haley, and
Maybe that was it.
that was it. And then we got like Sophia, Denny there.
Yeah, you
for a
had
few
like
times.
people come in and go, come and go. It wasn't for them. But that Haley was saying we should do a GI2 school podcast. It would be fun to interview you guys. But anyways, yeah, so that got the kids through COVID a lot. But I do think it was a setback in a lot of ways, them really learning and developing in their high school years. Obviously, they survived it, but it was tough. But I think that GI2 was a lifesaver as far as their social aspect. And when they started kind of getting bored or kind of stir crazy, I started bringing in guest speakers, which was really fun. People loved coming in and talking to them. We were not maskers. We were not vaxxers. So everybody that came in was super cool about like that. We just let the kids be kids. And I think it really paid off. And so a lot of us are, that's our core group anyway, but I got to know Blake and Blake's mom, Shelly, and we're still really close to this day too, which is great. And then through football, these kids played football together. Yeah. So that was the time of our lives. I think for all of us, the kids and the parents, we had the best crew for football, high school football, and you guys did pretty good. You got pretty far. Not as far as Luca's class, but you guys did really well, and it was a good year. It was a good 4 year. Well, you missed one. Well, you had kind of a half of a season for 1 year. And so now, because we only have like about 8 more minutes.
Damn.
I know. Or we could do part 2 like I did with Papa. If you want,
it's all good. I'll just flow through. So after high school, I did 4 years of football in high school. I started at wide receiver my sophomore year. I got 2 touchdowns against Centennial. That's the only stat I'll share with you because that's the only thing I have really.
I freaked out in the stands, like cried, dropped to the floor. It was because Centennial. Tell them what Centennial is.
Okay, well I only had 1, but they BS'd me on
he had 2, but they didn't count the second one because we don't have an instant replay. But we have video and pictures that show he was in.
Yeah, so Centennial's the number 7 high school in all of America for football. And they're number 1 for public schools because obviously the 6 private schools ahead of them, like Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, like they're elite. But Centennial's elite too, and I was playing against their number 1s for the most part. So yeah, I have a little film on that. But
huge.
So awesome. That's the only thing I'll share really about high school football because it wasn't really anything crazy. It was more like a. Freshman year was
politics. There was a lot of politics, as always.
I got
and don't let anyone tell you because I was the football booster president, and there was no favors or favoring because of my role.
Other than the speed flex in my sophomore year, that's it.
Oh, that's the only perk you got. See, so we played fair, but not fair because Logan got chipped on some stuff. But then coach would tell me, oh, you wonder why Logan didn't start? Because he wore pajamas to practice and he's not allowed to wear pajamas to practice. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe.
Something like that.
It wasn't totally political. But whatever.
One of the funny things about high school, okay, this will be the last thing. Me, Blake, Dom, and John.
Oh, this isn't funny at all.
I made a TikTok. We we got new uniforms. So before the season, we went down into
without permission.
Went down to the equipment room. We put on our jerseys, our new jerseys, and we did a TikTok dance. And we humped the helmet at the
inappropriate.
End. And so it posted it. The word got around to Chaparral, and the Chaparral coach called Espo. And we weren't allowed to play in the Golden Bear Classic, which was the biggest mistake we've ever made.
And you had the wrath of your parents, especially me.
That's not where I was really pissed about. I was pissed because
No, good.
the
Yeah,
Golden
that was
Bear
a good
Classic was
consequence.
the worst thing ever. So
Well, and we all of us parents spent all our time working it,
Setting
and
it
you
up.
guys weren't even playing in it. We were all livid.
yeah, so that was the worst. I think that was the worst thing that happened in my high school.
Yeah, like bad choice
Yeah,
with consequence. But look how consequence works.
yeah.
You won't do it again.
And then after high school, I went to MSJC for 6 months while working, and then as a busser. And then I moved to San Luis Obispo my second semester of freshman year with J. Tom. Was this my second semester? Yeah.
No, it was the first semester of your second year.
No, because I was there in May. No, yeah, I'm right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went to San Luis
Don't ask
Obispo
me.
with J. Tom. I hated it there. I played video games 12 hours a day
He
there.
hated it. It was the most beautiful place, but
Yeah,
he hated it.
yeah, I didn't.
Why did you hate it?
I was unmotivated and I was uncomfortable. That's it, really. I
Well,
couldn't make
you were the one that
friends.
wanted to go there.
Yeah, because I wanted to move out and see how it was out and about. But I definitely took it for granted because I definitely could have made something of it. But I'm having the same experience now, right, with making friends. I'm not good at making friends. I'm good at keeping the friends I have.
Yeah.
So-
you realized that.
Max and Andrew are always the two people that have stayed with me for my whole life, and the only two people that really I need. So for me to like make friends with someone else is kind of hard. But
Well, so you didn't last in slow. You worked up. You worked at.
shout out to Kretz also.
Yes, he came along like in high school, but he's been a tried and truer for sure.
He's definitely my top three right now. I mean, top three since like
Yes.
my junior year. So
Well, these kids are so good too. They're such good kids.
yeah. And then I went to Stagecoach with Kretz because he lives out in Palm Springs. And he let me stay with him, and we did Stagecoach, which was a blast. And he called me today at lunch, and he wanted to tell me about his time at Coachella that he went with his girlfriend. And so he called me, and he was telling me he calls me like once a week to check how I'm doing out here.
So sweet. So you kind of skipped. So you worked at the restaurant and learned kind of assistant
The busser.
management.
Oh well, yeah. So
You came
after I came back from SLO, I worked as busser, and then we didn't have a manager, and so Dad was wanting me to be a maitre d' because I knew how everything was supposed to be run in the restaurant. So I got a different role, and I got to get some experience in like managing, you could call it, but it wasn't really managing. It was managing some people.
Yeah. Well, and you earned a lot of respect from the employees. You really had a great rapport with the staff.
Yeah, and
They
it's
wanted to do the right thing with you.
yeah, and like obviously I'm 19 years old, and
Yeah.
so who wants to get told by a 19-year-old what to do? But for me, it was more like yeah, it's my dad's like restaurant or like my mom and dad's restaurant, but like I know how it's supposed to like be ran. Like I'm not just doing it because of like this. Like I have some knowledge of
Yeah.
what to do and
They
how
knew
to
you had a
act.
clue.
Yeah, and
And
so
they just wanted to make you look good, I think. Like they wanted to do the right thing so that it would reflect on you, which was a good
yeah.
motivation for them.
Yeah, and so I had a lot of stress. I was working 50 hours a week there, and I wasn't doing school, thank God, because I hate school. That's what I figured out. I hate doing American school, at least what I could say, because American school you have to do 2 years more of high school, which makes no sense to me.
No, you do 5 years of high school in Italy. What are you talking about? And you
No,
go
I'm
6 days a week.
No, I'm saying college in the U.S. You do 2
Oh.
years of what's that school?
Junior college or
No, 2 years to get your something.
your AA, your associate.
Yeah, but it's 2 years of high school more because you just do math, science. It's not specific to what you want to do. And so for me, it's like, why would I already do high school to just go back and do 2 more years of high school? Like high school should just be 6 years then.
You're more of a trade, like you would like to focus on your trade. So if hospitality or like you just want to jump right to
I was like, why do I need to learn calculus when I can hire someone to do calculus for me? Like if someone's interested in it, why do I have to do it? Just have them do it. And so for me, that's why I don't want to go to college. Other than like the college experience, like I know Cades and ASU having a grand old time, and I'm a little jealous, but for me, it's more than like just the experience.
You
it's like I want to
go
get
to college
started
for that reason.
And so now I'm here. I moved to Milano because I wanted to learn Italian because I never learned because Dad was never home to teach, and when he was home, we would just want to talk, so we would never try to learn.
Yeah.
I only learned like my numbers with Mimi.
And the bad words, obviously.
And the bad words when I go. I had a little bit of idea, but not what they meant. Like, "Come sta?" Like, obviously, how are you doing? But like, if you say "Come sta," it's him, he. Like,
you don't know like the grammar.
Yeah, so like I've learned so much in my school here. I just finished my school last week.
Tell us in Italian.
Ho finito scuola. Passato. Wait, I'm not prepared. I'm sick. This is hoarse. Edit this out. Hold on. Say that again. Wait, let me think. Well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you this real quick.
Fluent. Yeah, you're learning. Da, 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 da. Dead air on the radio doesn't work. You gotta keep talking.
Passato. Wait, hold on.
Tell us something different. Tell us.
Ho finito scuola. Passato settimana.
Good job. You finished school last week. Yeah. Good job, babe.
And then I started working at Giorgio Armani, Emporio Armani Cafe, and restaurant. So I'm a stage cook and pasticceria.
It means intern. He's interning there.
Yeah, I'm an intern, so I'm doing learning how to do like the cook, the pastry chef, and also I'm going to be on the floor in about a month and a half, I think.
Yeah, front of the house.
Yeah, front of the house. So, yeah, I mean, that's like how I've met my friends in Italy. So I'm happy for that.
Basically coworkers.
Yeah. And so for Easter, I think I'm probably just going to hang with them because I want to come here.
To Sicily?
Yeah. I can, but...
Well, it's like literally next weekend.
I know.
This weekend.
Yeah.
So, because obviously we're recording this while I'm here, but it's not going to air until after Easter.
Oh.
So he's happy here.
I am. I'm really enjoying it. Mom's mad because I was supposed to come home.
I'm sad.
I was supposed to come home June. I was supposed to be there from January to June, and I want to stay here until I don't want to come home for summer. I don't want to come home for August. I want to come September back.
Because here he comes down to Sicily in August, and he has actual friends here, hangout friends, and so he wants to spend the summer here. And we have our Alessandro, Mimi's youngest, baptism August 31st. So he's like, I'm not going to come home for a short time and then come back. So he's just going to stay, and then he'll come home with us mid-September. Yeah, it's hard for mommy to be far from you. Yeah. Especially when you were like, you kids are my lifeline, because dad was never home. So I literally did them, outside of school 24 hours a day. All the sports, I was at every practice, I was at every game.
Yeah.
I'm at school for whatever. I didn't ever help in the classroom. Well, elementary school, I helped in the classroom, but but the kids are Logan a little different than Luca. Luca, he started out being my the only thing I had because Alex would be gone every night. And then when Logan came around, it was two of them. But then when Luca got to high school, he played football and stuff, but he didn't really have friends he hung out with, or he didn't go out with friends. So we would go to the movies, we'd go to dinner, we hung out. Logan always was gone with his friends constantly. So I don't know if God was just trying to prepare me for this, but I always with the friends and then their parents, we were always together. And if he was at the restaurant, I would go down to the restaurant and eat. So I was literally with you 90% of your whole life until you came here.
Yeah.
Which everyone thought I was going to go into a depression when he got here, but he lives with my brother-in-law, and he's doing great. So it's really hard for me to be sad about it, and I'm just staying busy out there. But I do miss you a lot, and I feel like I think I've somebody sent me something. I don't know what it was, if it was a book or something online, but there's literally like a psychological thing that happens with young men as they transition into full-blown adulthood, and it's this push from their parents. Like they try to push away in order to find their independence and their, basically to show themselves that they can do it, that they're adults. So I know what's happening with him. Like, I'm like, I want to come lay in bed with you. And he's like, no, I don't want you in bed with me. And I'm like, I want to come in your room. No, I don't want you. So I'm getting my feelings hurt, and I'm sad because I only have this little short time with you, but you're trying to be an adult, and I get it. But I feel like it'll soften after a little bit. You'll come back around, but I'm so used to, Logan's very loving and lovable, and he's usually very affectionate. You're actually more affectionate with others than you are with me anymore, but I think that's the thing. I think it's just the parent thing. He's making up for lost time with Dad, spending a lot of time, and really takes, I've been really impressed with you and how when Dad advises you or coaches you in your work or in life, you receive it really well. You don't fight it. You don't get offended. You don't get defensive. With me, I think you've had me your whole life, so it's a little bit different with me. Like you're kind of like, okay, Mom, you did your part. Now it's Dad's turn. But it's okay. I feel like all in all, we have a really close relationship.
Definitely.
And I really cherish that. And I think that.
And it's never been like I've never, not like she would have to, but I've never had anything really from her. Like we really always had like an open book.
Yeah.
Relationship. Like
open and honest.
If I need help with something, like I wasn't afraid to ask her, or if I'm having problems with something, like she would always be like an advisor. So she's always been like a good help for me.
Thank you. Well, I feel like it's been a balance, right? I think that discipline earns respect. Like you knew that I was invested in you.
You stood on it.
And and I meant what I said, but it was always with love. And then
it took me a while to realize it.
Well, it's natural for kids to not get it, and sometimes, I don't think anybody can make me more mad than you, Luca, and Dad. There's, but the anger comes from like wanting the best for you and wanting you to get, like, understand and be smart and make good choices. And, when you don't, my expectations are so high of you that I get really like frustrated and disappointed. But like I said, all in all, oh my gosh, you have been an amazing kid. Okay, so pain in the ass, yes. Getting a little trouble here and here, but your trouble has been very minimal compared to what could have been and has been with, but yeah. I think you've also surrounded yourself with great kids. Like your friends are good for the most part. Your inner circle is definitely amazing.
Yeah.
And, and even your little outer circle, like Kate and those kids, J. Tom, they're great, amazing kids too.
Yeah.
So, I know you kids try stuff and, blah, 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 but all in all, you all make good choices, great parenting on everyone's account. And I think we all of us parents hold all you kids accountable too at each other's houses.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
It's never been a shy. Max's parents always yell at me for stuff.
They'll kick your butt, yeah.
Max never did anything wrong, so Mom never had to yell.
Max never got in trouble. Logan did in front of his parents.
Andrew got, I don't know, maybe you're
they just like love you. Like I don't know, you do no wrong in Rhonda's eyes. I'm like, Rhonda, seriously? No, but you do, I think that people, they all bring out good in you, and so you're
it's like those are my real second family, the Peltzers and the Celluses.
Yeah.
So shout out.
They miss you a lot. Well, Rhonda does the podcast every week. She's always like, and Tracy too. Yeah, Tracy adores you. She's adopted y'all too.
Exactly.
It's true. So
yeah, so those are
they're sad they're not doing this interview with me.
I know. I'll do it when I get back.
Yeah, when you're in May. Well,
update.
Logan's coming out for Luca's graduation the end of May, so we'll do a bestie podcast.
We could do that. Yeah.
Do the kids and the moms.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Big shout out also. Forgot to bring up Papa. Love you. Text him a few times a month, but I'm just busy, and I told him this. I don't really talk to Mom, really. I only call her for like 20 minutes.
I know. Sometimes. It's hard to get him to...
So, but I do think about you all the time, and I love you. Also, Nani, I love you so much. I had a great call with you and Pop. And so I'm glad I get to share this experience with all three of you as well.
This experience? You mean your childhood?
My experience.
Oh.
No, like my experience while I'm out here.
Oh.
Like I've been telling them all about
work.
You're
sharing what's going on now. Yeah, well, and your cousins miss the heck out of you. They're really excited to see you in May.
Oh.
Kenzie, Molly, and Mitchell, they are so excited to see you.
We've been updating each other a little bit here and there. So
I'm going to interview Molly when she's out for her birthday. She wants to jump on. So,
but yes, I miss everyone at home. If you think I don't think about you, just know I do, because I have nothing to do when I'm laying in bed trying to fall asleep to get up at 5 a.m. for work the next day. So
yeah, but the time changes.
And I pray for everyone out there.
Aw,
so
sweetheart.
even Sid from Mad Madeline, I think about you. So if you're close to me, just know I think about you. Especially if I'm thinking about Sid, just know I'm thinking about you.
Well, you're growing. I can tell you're growing a lot. You're learning a lot, and this is really good for you. So I'm happy for you.
Thank you. And by September, I will be probably 90% fluent in Italian. So my Italian today was very pitiful. When I come in May, it'll be a little bit better because I'm learning every day, new words, new verbs. So,
but by September, we'll have you on, and you'll just speak fluent.
Yeah. Okay. Dad will interview me.
Okay.
And we'll do an Italian podcast.
All right, everybody. That's not all. We'll be back next week with my birthday.
What's today?
Yeah, I think we're going to be talking about my birthday. It will already have passed, but I'm going to talk about how I celebrate birthdays. So, all right, thank you for following or for listening. Please follow us on Bumper Shoot Charity on Instagram and subscribe. And this was the longest one we've ever done, Logan.
Wow.
I didn't split it.
Thank you.
All right, hopefully you guys lasted a whole hour. All right, bye-bye for now.